Welcome. I'm Hollie Taylor. This is another 1016 stream with our incredible roster. Today, I'm so excited to be having a chat with a fairly new artist in the sense of visibility for us. Ooh, say that 5 times fast. Visibility. And so I'm really excited to introduce you guys to one of our newest artists on our lineup. So if you've got questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. Loretta is here as per usual, and she'll be able to feed us the questions so that we can ask them on your behalf. And let's do this. Elenee Young, welcome.
Hey, thanks
How
for
are
having me.
Of course. Thanks for saying yes and not just hiding, because most artists I find are introverted. And so,
You're onto something. You're onto
yeah,
something there.
yeah. I think people in radio too, because I mean, if you look around my studio, it's just
Yeah.
me. I just talk to myself.
But we are our best talker to what's the word? We're the best.
Our best company that we could have.
That's the word. That's it. You hit it right on the head.
Oh, I love it so much. Now, Elenee, I first heard about you from Jaylene Johnson, and this would have been probably this time last year. And she's like, "Do you know who Elenee is?"
Oh.
And I said, no, I don't. And she's like, "You have to hear her music." So, Elenee, I'm so glad that this past year has been one where I've been introduced to you, and now we get to work with you at 1016. Your music is doing so well at radio, but these things don't happen overnight. There's always a backstory and a lot that gets to this point. So, share with us a little bit about your journey in the musical world. Was this something that you always loved?
Oh man. How does one really put into words when something is both a passion and a ministry slash calling, you know?
Yeah.
This is something that I have been dreaming of ever since I was very, very little. I've been writing my own songs since I was very small. Like, I mean, as early as I could write.
Yeah.
Um, I've been putting like poetry into like a piano sound riff on my little recordable keyboard, ever since I was probably about 8.
Oh, I
And
love that.
yeah, and like the songs are horrible.
You gotta
But
start somewhere.
you got to start somewhere. I've just like it's just something that I can't not do. I don't really know how else to say it. And I'm
Yeah.
sure everybody kind of has their thing. But for me, it's music. I have always considered myself an artist in the sense of I make art. But
Mhm.
I don't know if I'm necessarily the most administratively artistic person in the sense of like, okay, I have this art. What do I do with it next?
Yeah.
So everything that I've been doing up until this point and at this very moment has very much been trial and error. And that's the life of an independent artist. If you are out
Mhm.
there and also an independent artist and we're just winging it.
Yeah.
Okay. But the past year, I've tried to steward this ministry slash calling slash passion a little bit better.
Hmm.
And just in a sense of, I'm putting I'm putting money into this. I'm putting time into this. And why would I want it to just like sit on Spotify in limbo land? Right. So
Yeah.
I was recommended 1016 Entertainment by some friends, and Jaylene also recommended. So it was just kind of the most obvious next step for me. Okay,
Yeah.
we've got Spotify streams, we've got people who are, on Instagram and TikTok and all that good stuff. Canadian radio. What does that look like?
Yeah.
And so again, this is just me trying this out. I have just loved working with you gals so much. It's just
Aw.
such a fun space. And yeah, just kind of doing the things and doing what we can. Just keep the dream alive. I don't know if that's like something I
No.
can say, but
No, you
yeah.
can. You can.
Okay, good.
We can
Keeping
all
the
be
dream alive.
dreaming.
Yeah.
Well, we have had the honor of working your is it your it's not your first single to radio per se, but it's the first one
No.
with the organized
Yeah.
effort behind it. No
Yeah.
Place Here, and it was introduced into the top 30 last week, which is so exciting.
That's crazy.
I know, number 42. Math is hard. 21 overall, number 4 on More Radio chart, and Did you ever
Oh,
think that No Place Here would do that?
no. And the irony of the whole thing is when the song first released, okay, and this is, I'm just gonna get real with you guys. I'm sure that's fine on
Yeah,
this space.
absolutely.
Hear
Yep.
me out. When I first put the song out, this song called No Place Here literally got no place on Spotify editorials or any of the editorials. And I was like kind of shattered because I thought this song is such a good song. I'm not putting out anything that's not good. This song is not only good, but like it's so powerful and it has such a important message for today.
Mhm.
And so in this weird way, I was like disappointed and also surprised that it didn't do the thing that I thought it would do. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And for me, radio was like a supplement to what was going to happen on on Instagram, on Spotify and
Yeah.
Apple Music. I had no idea that it was going to maybe go the other way. Like I've never imagined myself on radio, like in
Yeah.
this capacity. So to get to work with you guys and to get, real time updates on how it's doing, like I'm just like floored. Like I'm like the little 8-year-old Elenee playing her little keyboard in her basement is just absolutely freaking out right now.
Yes. So cute.
It's so fun.
Well, what does No Place Here mean to you?
This song is, and I've described it best as I think the song that takes us out of the state of paralysis. If you're anything like me, making decisions and dealing with the overwhelming state of what's going on and just everything can put you in a place of just not moving. For myself, this song specifically was written from a place of kind of battling the status quo in terms of serving God. It's very much like, some people serve God out of fear. Some people serve God out of obligation,
Hmm.
out of tradition and, things, generational things. And for me, I just decided like I can't serve God this way. And it's not that I necessarily had been in any of those categories, but I felt like I wasn't serving God from a place of freedom. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Oh,
And
yeah.
so as I was kind of battling this particular mentality or whatever you want to call that, I basically just took it to the place where I knew I could communicate exactly how I needed to the devil, and that was to my piano. And so I sat at my piano. I was feeling frustrated because I just didn't feel like I was serving the Lord in the way that I needed to. And I sat at my piano and I said, "Listen, devil, you little can't say all the things I want to say here."
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Edited.
I just got canceled. Um, I said, I'm gonna put one foot in front of the other, okay? I'm gonna move. I'm not gonna stay here paralyzed by fear and paralyzed by all your little antics. I'm gonna put one foot in front of the other. I am gonna walk by faith. My eyes are set on Jesus, okay? I'm not gonna walk by sight, I'm gonna walk by faith. I'm gonna walk on the waves with Jesus. I'm gonna walk through the fire with Jesus. And like as I started just saying these things, I was like, man, this is a song. So
Yeah.
then I took I wrote it down and all I had was a chorus. I took a little video of it, of course, put it on Instagram and TikTok. It blew up. People were like, "Oh my gosh!" And then I was like, "Shoot!" So then I met
Now
with
I have
my
to finish it.
cool. So I contacted my friend Bailey Hager, who is like the woman producer of the world. She's so good. She's incredible. She's based in Nashville. And I was like, girl, help me finish this song. This has like your fingerprints all over it. You kind of just have a way with like sassy pop. So we did and we finished it. Oh man. And like the first time I ever heard that little intro, I was like floored. I was like, this is exactly what this song needed. Like the
Mhm.
words are powerful, but then the musicality behind it just propels the message in such a cool way, which is why I was like, why is it not doing better in Spotify land and Apple
Mhm.
Music land? And I don't even care. Like at this
Yeah.
point, I'm just like, the message of this song is the most important thing I've learned in this particular season of this song's release, how important it is to release music regardless of how I think it's going to do or not do.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely.
Again, being paralyzed by fear, the song's literally about that, but I'm just like, if this song is as important to me as I say it is, and it walked me through a season, and I see the power and authority in every single word, why wouldn't I put it out there regardless of how it does,
Yeah.
in any capacity? But stewarding the space well, and like I said, I've wanted to, in the last year, I've really just been trying to keep the dream alive.
Yeah.
Um, I felt like, like I had already mentioned, radio just felt like the right space for this song. So
Mm-hmm.
send it to you guys. You guys loved it too. And radio loves it and everybody loves it. I'm like, this is so
Yes.
cool. And
Your
I also
instincts
think,
were right. Your instincts were
I don't
right.
know, were they
Yeah.
though? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, they were right.
okay. We're gonna go with that.
Yeah, we are.
We're doing good. Everything's fine.
Well, the song is doing well at radio, but I'm now hearing a lot of different pronounces of your names, and we're gonna set the record straight. So,
Okay.
Elenee, say your name.
Elenee.
Oh, it's Elenee. Even I'm saying it wrong.
You're all good. Listen, I've been called a lot of things, girl, and yeah, that's not the worst.
Okay, what's the worst we've heard?
Oh, I get it all, but the most arbitrary name I've ever been called, and it's so random and it's happened so many times, is Melanie. There's
Melanie.
literally not one M in my name.
No.
Melanie.
How? I mean,
I
I
don't
get.
know. So, yeah.
I
But
don't know.
so it's Elenee. It's a Greek name, and the Canadian name, I'm also probably gonna get like absolutely canceled, or not canceled, but I'm gonna get made fun of for this maybe. My Canadian name, so for, really traditional cultural names, there's always like kind of a American counterpart.
Mhm.
So my name's actually Helen. Hey.
Oh, hey, Helen.
No.
Nice to meet you.
And Elenee is like the Greek, but my real like birth name by birth is Elenee. But just for fun, I thought I'd be like, well, I mean, it could be Helen. If you need to call me Helen for pronunciation purposes, you do that too. But my real name is Elenee. It's Greek and it's beautiful, and I used to get made fun of for it, and now I just kind of
Aw.
embrace it because it's like, I don't know.
Yeah. What does it mean?
It means light of God, but also Helen of Troy. So like it's a very, very
Okay.
contrasting. Yeah, I don't know.
That's so cool. Well, now we know, and I'll probably still now say it wrong because it's stuck in my head. The
It's
other
okay.
way.
All G.
Ah,
All G.
all good. Okay. I had to like transpose that in my head. I'm like, AG, what?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you young people and your social media terms.
I don't know. I feel like I'm even like removed from that. Like I'm just like, okay, yeah. I'm gonna need Google Translate for this, even though I don't even think that's a thing, but
Yeah, no, I think it is. There's AI to write everything. So,
unbelievable.
it's a wild world that we live in, but you are quite active on social media. And is that intentional or is that just, I need to be here because this is a space I love to be in?
Eh, It's like neither, I think.
Okay.
I'm also winging it on social media. Just for fun. Please join my masterclass after this live and I will teach you everything I know. No, I'm just
How to
kidding.
wing it.
Yeah, seriously. After the GMA Awards, this is kind of interesting story. I left, which you were there. I was
Mhm.
nominated for 5 awards, Holly. And when I went there, I was like, I'm sure I'll win like 1. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I don't expect to win 5, but it'd be cool to take 1 home. And I don't care necessarily about the awards. It was more like the validation of, okay, yes, we've got this, keeping the dream alive.
Mhm.
And I came home empty-handed, and I was like, okay, that was unexpected.
Yeah.
So on the tarmac, on my flight leaving Ontario, I was talking to the Lord, and I was like, even though awards aren't that big of a deal to me, truly, I was a little disappointed. And I was like, God, what in the world? Like, am I not supposed to be like, am I not doing this for the right way? And not, again, not that an award validates like my calling in my life, but it just felt like that would have been a really great way for the Lord to be like, keep it up. You're doing great.
Yeah.
And when I didn't get any awards, I was like, okay, I getting mixed signals here, Lord. And so I was talking to God and I was just like, do I quit music? Like, okay, maybe the artist thing isn't for me.
Mhm.
And at this point, Holly, I had an entire album recorded. So I'm just like, I was willing to like cut losses with that album, take a break from music and just kind of whatever. So I got home and I was like, okay, maybe I'll step away from the artist thing for a while. I don't know. Maybe I'll pick up the production side of things, which is something I had been working on for a long time, but hadn't really
Yeah.
like put so much time into it. So I was like, I'm going to start just like teaching myself production
Yeah.
in a little more in-depth way. So I'll start with like some covers of songs that like everybody knows, and I'll just do like a sad pop version. And just for fun, I'll post it. I don't know, see how it does. And did
Mhm.
I not go viral like 4 times? And like
Humble brag.
no, and it's not, I say all that to say that from those from so I got 50,000 followers like over the span of a couple, well, like pretty much a month
Mhm.
or so. It was crazy. And all of these people are messaging me, and I mean like so many people, and commenting, and they're just like, "Where can we find your music? We want to hear your music. Where you have such an incredible voice. I love this. Like, where can I listen to more of your voice?" And I was just like, "Really, Jesus?" So the social media thing is a space where I'm just like, I don't necessarily want to be there. Social
Mhm.
media is very overwhelming for me. I feel like I probably speak for like the majority of the population.
Yeah.
It's a lot to deal with and manage, but also it's a space where I get to inspire and create, and also like communicate with and engage with people. And I think that's just so important, especially as an independent artist. Like everything that I post is from me. Like I don't get to hire people to do my social media, not here and not now yet.
Yeah.
But
Yet.
um in this season, it's just been really cool to get to hear the stories and get to meet people. And also, one of the songs that's going to be on my album got added very last minute because I posted a clip of like the demo on Instagram, and people went crazy over it, and they were like,
Mm.
"Where can we hear this song in its entirety?" And I was like, "Hey, Joe and Chris, producer, hey, we're gonna have to add one more. I'll send it over right away."
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so it's kind of cool, but yeah.
Oh, that's incredible. Well, don't feel bad. I was also nominated, me and Johnny Rocket, with our podcast.
Right.
Why Me Project. We did not win. So we're gonna
It's
quit the
okay.
podcast too. You quit music, we'll quit the podcast, and we'll all
No,
just
please don't.
we'll just call it a day.
I know it's a really silly way to think of things, but maybe like just your emotions, and you know as
For
well as I
sure.
do how important it is to root your passion, your projects, your creativity in something more than hardware that sits on your shelf. Like it's not the
Yeah.
end all be all of everything.
Yeah.
It is, however, let me just say, it is nice to feel the validation
Yeah.
that like, okay, what I'm doing is, people are liking it, people are listening to it, picking it up, voting for it. Like for me, that is just, it feels so good, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah,
So
it
to not get
does.
that sometimes, you're like, cool, that's fine. I
Yeah.
hate my music too. Yeah, it's fine.
Well, clearly people aren't hating your music. Like I said, No Place Here doing really well on the charts. So just a massive thank you to all the stations
Yes.
for picking up the song. I mean, it's exciting to see you as a Canadian artist, creating music that's really resonating with more than people in just your community, but throughout the
Mm,
country.
totally. Yeah.
Does that feel weird to hear?
Totally. Absolutely. That's wild. That's
Yeah.
absolutely bananas to me. But I appreciate you guys. I thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to everybody who's watching right now. Like, gosh, just you being on this live stream is such a supportive thing for me. Like everything that gets you connected to my music and the message that I'm sharing is so supportive. And so radio is huge. And I just like, oh, I just want to give everybody a hug. I'm not even a hugger, but consider this like a big virtual hug to all the radio stations who've picked it up. And yeah, it's so cool.
Amazing. All right. So, someone wants more information on you. Where do they go and how do they find you?
Oh, you can find me literally anywhere. You can even probably, if you ask somebody about Melanie, like you'll find me. Just kidding. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, everything is like all the same. Elenee M. Young is my handle. You can go to my website, elenee.ca, all the things. I'm just easy to find if you can
Perfect.
spell my name right.
Yes. Elenee, thank you so much for taking time today to be on our live stream. And we're so excited for what God has in store for you next.
Thanks for having me. This was great.
Of course. All right. So even I got corrected. Elenee Young, her single, which is No Place Here, currently at radio. Thank you guys again so much for your support of her music and her ministry as well. We're going to do this again probably another couple of weeks. We've had such an intensely busy 2024, which I'm so grateful for. As you can see, if you go to 1016entertainment.com, there's been some incredible music being released from our own backyard, from Canadian artists. So there is more coming down the pipe for you. And just keep posted to our sites and our socials for the full rundown on who we're working when. And we'll be doing more of these StreamYard Connect points. So the next one will be coming up with Matt Brower. Details still to come. Massive thank you also to Loretta, making sure these go smoothly. I couldn't do it without her. And a lot of you know her from her phone calls and her emails. So big shout outs to Loretta today as well. So thank you guys, and we'll see you again soon.